21.22, 21.22. Dave, your time, 19.13, 19.13. That's the second fastest run on your course. Good job there. Ooh, here's a good one. William Onderdonk. I hope he gets to the finals just so I can say Onderdonk all day. William Onderdonk on the red course. Richard Garrientes. You know Richard? No, okay. At the finish line, 1:6:20.16. Randy Lyons and Dean Thornton coming up to the finish line here on our Reebok dual slalom. Randy Lyons, the time of 19.87. Dean, your time, 21.48, 21.48. Again, all riders are going to go back up to the top of the course. Flip-flop courses. We're combining their time, so they've got to have two consistent runs. They don't necessarily have to be bomber runs top to bottom, but they've got to have two consistently quick runs. Greg Tickle on the red course and Richard Antonacci on the blue.
That's hard, man.
The Tickle Man with the time of 19.62, 19.62. Richard, your time, 18.97, 18.97. Richard, that's the second fastest time there on the blue course. Way to go, bud. Eric Jaskowitz and Jerry Green Jr. on course right now. Oh, Eric! Oh, that'll be a 3-second foul language penalty there as he came across the finish line. Eric's time, 23.44, 23.44. He had a grin on his face. We'll just make it a second and a half. Jerry, your time, 18.32, 18.32. Jason Cosner, Aaron McPeters are on course. You'll see the caliber of racing, even for these sport and beginner class riders, really get a heck of a lot better as we continue on. Once we get to our finals, they get a chance to ride the course a couple of times here in the qualifying. They don't get to practice the course. As Jason across the finish line, a time of 2:0.46, 2:0.46. Aaron, your time, 19.71. But once we get into the finals and these guys have a chance to run the course and know what to expect, they'll get going a heck of a lot faster. And then we'll bring it up about 10 notches when you see, and that's not a slam on you guys, it's just a tribute to how good our pros are. When they come out here and hammer on this course, you'll just go, wow, how the heck do they do that? They fly around these gates. So smooth and methodical, you'll see him catch very little air. Here comes Darrell Cruz, a professional BMX rider. Across the finish line, Darrell, your time 17.26, 17.26, and Nick Harden with a time of 17.99. Darrell, silver in Michigan, is that right? Yes, okay, Darrell Cruz, our silver medalist last week in Michigan. Also saw him compete Big Bear, I do think. Oh, and Mammoth. So he's kind of been hammering away here. Eric Coot Lee and Dan Applegate on course. Coot Lee on the red. Applegate is on the blue. Oh, and just about missing the gate there, but getting around the right side and coming across the finish line. Coot Lee with a time of 19.08 and Dan Applegate with a time of 19.78.
The 21.02 combined time for Glover, 41.02. And Michael Clare, 41.36. 12th and 13th right now. Here comes Brent Rattel and Walter Bovey.
The right side, yeah. Especially down here. Shoot it as. You had it, man. All you had to do was
coming on down to the finish. And coming across first, we had Walter Bovey, and his time 18.47, combined time 36.46, and Brent Rattel comes through with a 38.14. That puts him in 6th overall right now. Here comes Brian Strange on the red course, and Christophe Dumars on the blue.
I didn't see the bus. I didn't see the bus.
Blue course, Christophe Dumars out in front. And the combined time for Christophe is 40.96, and Brian Strange 43.79. Back up at the top, here comes your next pair of riders. Dean Thornton going up against Ben Arberg. Thornton on the red course, Arberg on the blue. And it's Arberg coming through first. Thornton goes to the wrong side of that second last gate. Has to go back up. And Arberg comes through his combined time, 40.33. And Thornton across the line with a 49.16. Our next pair of riders leaving the start. David Gay is on the red course going up against John Taylor on the blue. David Gay out in front. Coming into drop-off. Taylor trying to stay with him. It's Dave Gay out in front. And it's Mercedes Gonzalez on the blue. A close lead here as both riders coming into the more technical section of this course. It's Mercedes Gonzalez carrying speed through the finish. Mercedes moves into #1 spot with a 41.40. And that's 2 fourth-place runs for Mercedes. So she moves into the #1 position right now in combined times. And Lisa Scher, 3rd position with a 42.87. Coming up next, Jennifer Burke and Mickey Douglas. Jennifer Burke, this time on the red course. Mickey Douglas on the blue. Mickey Douglas was 2nd in the first run. Let's see how she does. And it is Mickey Douglas extending a lead in front of Jennifer Burke. Mickey riding for Team Space. The Southern Off-Road Biking Association, that's SORBA. Helen Dining and Lodging Association, those guys really getting together. The Toot Trolley, of course, if you want to park your car and ride the Toot Trolley around, then you don't have to add to the traffic problems and the parking problems. Also, Bell South Mobility, Standard Telephone Company, White County Chamber of Commerce.
It's Pistol Pete.
Pistol Pete
Right for Park
taking his first run right now. Out of the saddle. Pistol Pete bringing it to the line on that Schwinn mountain bike. And Lee Donovan, yeah, coming through. Her second run time, 1986. Combined time, 39.13. Lee sits in the #1 qualifying spot right now. And Pistol Pete is one fast mother, Cassie Kessler, riding for KHS. She's on the red course. And Daniela Donadio is on the blue, riding for GT. King on the blue course. And his first run time was our fastest of the day at 16:25. And Toby Henderson was 7th on his first run. A little practice trying to have a sensational second run here, and it's out in front, Wayne Roon. Both riders getting into that soft, sticky clay at the bottom. Zach White comes through first. His combined time, 41.19. Wayne Roon, 42.56. All right, on course, we've got Rusty Stuber and Justin Risley. It's Rusty Stuber coming off the bike on the red. Lost some traction on the front wheel, back on the bike, but it is going to be Justin Risley across the finish line first. It's riding for Trek, going up against Terry Tinney. And it is Miles Davis on his Trek out in front.